right, Kurt, you made the merge. You
Yep.
outwitted, outplayed, and outlasted 13 other people. Walk me through today. How'd you get to that stool in front of this great set?
It's hard to say. I got votes in the last 3 tribal councils I went to. I learned after the fact that Jason let me know that every single tribal council except REL, everyone thought I was the target and everyone got blindsided. From the beginning, I just really liked Jason and Kelly. I just stuck with them, and I spent a long time trying to figure out, like, I don't know what my end game is if I'm working with them, but I really like working with them, and let me try to cobble something together as I go. And it turns out that was the right play, because anyone they saw as threatening is gone. I don't know how I can do anything about this at the end, but I feel like we're in a pretty good spot right now. If what we're hearing is true, with grain of salt, then we have the numbers at least for the next couple of votes. And both Jason and Kelly urged Maria and me that if the other people continue to pick off the survivors like they have been in the Red Tribe, they said, you need to switch and be over with them, because if we can't win, we want one of you to win, which felt really good.
Do you think that'll happen, or do you think that you believe them? Because
I believed them until here. Sometimes I thought I was going home. Like when they say, hey, we're going to blindside Donna, but they don't say anything else about it. Part of it is just like, we only have 10 minutes before we go to tribal council. But part of it is like, that's what I want to hear, but it's also what they would know that I want to hear. So my mom was Catholic. I grew up skeptical about getting what I want ever. So yeah, so what they're telling me sounds great, and I want it to sound great. So I don't necessarily know that I can trust it, but I don't see a better option for me.
from some solid dynamics we talked about Thursday and Friday, and from your perspective and from others' perspective, it seemed like when you were worried about some of these other votes, how did you move past or hurdle the Donnas and the Dans, who seem like, from maybe your take, I think from what we gathered and from other people's perspectives, how did you maneuver through that, and why do you think you're sitting here and they're not?
Kept my damn mouth shut a lot. There was one point just before, while we were waiting for the Dan Tribal Council, that Dan was making a pitch about why he would bring value after a merge, because we figured there was going to be a merge after this vote. And I thought, I should probably make my pitch. And then I thought, before we got to this point, Jason and Kelly both said, you're safe. And I said, if I jump in with a pitch that makes it look like...
You scared the crap out of me. Sorry.
Alright, that if I jump in with a pitch as if I don't trust them when they say you're safe, I feel like they respond well to trust. I think both in their seasons they were both loyal. Like, they had their game faults, they had their like things that got edited into stuff, but disloyalty was not part of it. And so,
take me from these 11 people that you're part of, and what would be your ideal final 2? So one person with you and your final 3, 2 people with you that would give your ultimate chance to win this event. And how are you going to get there with those people?
Considering that, other than the Sawas, former Sawas, we get the sense that most of the non-survivors on the other 2 tribes, their goal is to get the survivors out. So if I could get to the end with Jason and or Kelly, there might be a residual bitterness in not being able to achieve their goal, and if they couldn't vote them out, then maybe they could at least not give them the win. I also think that my personalities are different enough from Jason and Kelly that I would at least have some argument to make. I don't know that I would give me the win at this point. Like, I just have like a weaponized shrug. That's how I've been getting through.
Weaponized shrug. Okay,
I don't know.
that's going on the video probably.
Thank
okay.
you. I just kind of hang back, and people say things. I'm like, I don't know, and then I just keep going. But it's genuine, and I hope that comes across.
Yeah, so I'm going to defer to one of my production assistants,
Please.
and she's going to ask a question.
Yes.
So the challenge that you guys used your advantage
Yes.
that you didn't use,
Correct.
was that intentional? Was that a mistake? Walk us through that.
Sure. When we got the advantage, it was something that Jason and Maria won during some kind of a reward challenge this morning that the rest of us didn't know about. So we knew we had a couple of challenges left that we could use it, but it was the kind of thing where it said you have to play it after the challenge is described but before it starts. So you don't know what the advantage is going to be. It was not quite a medallion of power of you will get one ball, you will get one match. So we looked at it, it looked like the kind of thing where we were all fairly evenly matched, and we said we only have one more after this, let's use it now. And then when the advantage turned out to be instead of picking two things, you could pick also a third thing one time while you're out on the course. Implication being, without being able to consult with people behind you. After the fact, I thought about when I didn't make the match. I had a good sense of where the other barbecue chips were. And so after the fact, I was like, oh, I could use the advantage, gotten the barbecue chips and gotten a point out of it. I don't think we would have caught up, and I think it would have been 5-3 instead of 5-2 or whatever it was. I think Donna took the minimal advantage pretty hard about we saved it, and then we put it in, and it just wasn't that impressive.
Do you think she was bitter over the fact that no one used it?
Not specifically. I think it would have been different if it had been some kind of a great advantage that no one used at the right time and would have given us the win. But because I think the one time that it would have been useful as the game played out, it still wouldn't have given us the win. I don't think that would have been her focus.
In that
And I
same
chose not to
challenge,
bring it up.
in that same challenge, an idol came up as an option,
Yes.
and one of your tribe mates, from my perspective, and I want to make sure I get what was going on wrong. My perception of what happened is Jason just got an idol. Is that true? Is that what happened to Matchmaker?
Yeah, ultimately it was
With what is disposal, what he wants to do with it.
exactly.
How did you feel and what happened with that idol when he took that versus a point, or was there any consultation? It seemed pretty abrupt to me.
I didn't get the impression that we had the chance to turn it down.
Yeah, they
I think that
Okay.
once you get it, you have to read the note. You
Okay.
don't have to read it out loud, and then you have to immediately come back.
Okay.
So no point. And when we got back, I choose to charitably think he was saying it to all of us, but he only really said it to Kelly and Donna. We can use this. So I did feel out of the loop on that, which had me once again nervous at the Donna vote when they say we're going to blindside Donna. Why did you tell her we can use the idol? You didn't tell me we could use the idol.
So you're getting mixed messages from that. Yeah.
More
Possibly.
like, I think I'm misinterpreting because I don't trust good things and I expect bad things.
Okay. Mr. Baker, what would you like to ask?
So what I'm hearing is Jason was anyway until the merge, dictating things in your tribe, blindsiding people while you were a bit surprised by it all. You have, as you say, a weaponized shrug. You are saying that you might want to go to the end with survivors. Would you be able to look back at your game, just sort of sitting back and shrugging and finding yourself sitting with them at the end, and you are the alternative vote to a survivor, and be happy with your game?
I don't know that I see a win from here.
How do you change it to make it a win?
Don't give us this weaponized
Yeah.
shrug either.
Yeah.
I mean, tonight is about
Yes.
creating a path to a win.
Yes.
How do you do that? You gotta have a roadmap by
Somebody's
tomorrow
gonna
morning.
Yeah.
Really?
Somebody's got to win.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been frustrating me for a few hours now. Before the dawn of vote, I saw that there were 6 of us left, and I said, well, this is like Survivor Exile Island. This is my 3-2-1 opportunity. And I just couldn't figure out how to pull it off. And once I failed at that, I was like, I don't know that I have a shot at this point. I think at most, I could get a bitter jury vote. Yeah.
Let's look at the numbers for a second. So
Yeah, there are 11 of us left.
there are 11. You say that you've got you and Maria and Jason and Kelly. Who are but you said you think you might be on the right side of the numbers.
Yes.
Who are the other 2?
Jason and Kelly say that they've got Twyla and Spencer. I believe they've also got Rachel, potentially. I think she's a little fuzzier, but that they're willing to pick off the 3 reds, and that Spencer has promised that he'll show loyalty by voting off one of his own after that, because we would be 4-4. I'm not sure I buy that, but...
just to put this out there, you're a student of the game.
Yes.
We know this. You're talking about aligning yourself with 4 survivors. What happened in the DWSC last year?
The non-survivor won. Jill got 2nd place, Joel got 3rd, Wendy won.
Looking at that game, is that your roadmap to an end, to be taken to the end and have a jury say we want to give it to a newbie?
You're gonna be Wendy 2.0.
I didn't see any of the post-merge. The videos were only through Mike. So I don't know what her post-merge game looked like. Sorry.
It's coming, we swear.
Yeah,
You saw all the important stuff, all the good confessionals.
definitely.
Did you read anything about it?
No.
Okay.
I started to listen to one of the kind of the recap podcasts, and then I freaked myself out too much, and after about 10 minutes, once I found out like how the final placements went out, I was like, I'm not going to sleep unless I just like turn this off and go to sleep now.
Sorry.
It was fantastic, the 10 minutes that I listened to. And then, yeah.
So let me this may be the only time
Yes.
in your life you play Survivor.
Yes.
Do you want to stare at your game on Sunday and say, I shrugged myself to victory?
I think I've already come to the conclusion that I'm not very good at this.
13 people are behind you.
Yes.
How are you not good at this? You leapfrogged over Donna and Dan
Yes.
when you were on the outside.
Yes.
How are you not good at this?
I mean, I guess on a simple like numbers results determinative, I guess I'm in the top half. I'm not doing a very good job of figuring out what my options are. I mean, one of the problems is that I've aligned myself with 2 people who value loyalty so highly. So it's the kind of thing where...
I'm going to stop you right
Yes.
there. You're saying that Jason and Kelly value loyalty.
Yes.
And yet they've been blindsiding everybody around.
They're major
you. How
allies.
is that loyal?
I think they've kept me because they know that I'm not
Well, how are
going
they
after.
defining loyal? Someone who will shrug and do whatever
Loyal
they
to
say?
them.
I think so. Yeah.
I would seriously consider, and this game isn't identical to last year's game, but the similarities are shocking. And what challenged Andy and I and Caleb were the only ones, and John I think were part of it, that were here this night in August last year. Is 7 people had an opportunity to go through 4 survivors, and they all didn't figure out a way to come together. So my question for you would be, let's take out all the survivors from your equation, even though that's what you've talked about that you want to do.
Yeah.
How are you going to work with those other 6 non-survivors to get Kurt Connor in there with tomorrow you do things that get you to the end, that justify, besides being a better option than Kelly, Shannon, Sarge, Jason, Kyle, whatever the hell his fucking name is. Like, how are you gonna do that with those people, not necessarily who you think you might need to work with?
I think probably my best option with those people is that the reds are 3, the purples are 2. So I've clearly shown my votes up for grabs. Whichever side is willing to grab, I'm willing to go. I think if I do that, I automatically lose jury votes of Jason, Kelly, and Maria. But I think probably my best option, if I'm going a non-survivor route to the end, would be help tip the scales on one side of purple or red. I've had some decent conversations, but not really game conversations with the purples and reds, which has kind of been how I've gotten here so far. I don't initiate a lot of game conversations. I'm pretty vague of, I like working with you. I like the idea of you getting far. I haven't gotten any game talk with them. Yeah.
I would make.
When you go back to camp,
Yes.
and after you've thought this all out,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? You're saying that you can't win with what you've done so far.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do now? What's your next step? That's the major question of
That's a
what
good
you need to figure out.
Yeah, that's good. Pick a different seat at the fire. I tend to sit alone and eavesdrop. I should switch seats. Yeah.
Who are you going to talk to?
I think Ryan's probably a good option. I think he's relatively open to the idea of working with the survivor group, plus Maria and me and Rachel. I think he would be relatively, just from the little talks we've had, relatively open to maybe a subgroup that can switch things up a little. I feel like probably he's my best bet, but that's just
You have the
an
night
impression
to
thing.
make a case.
Is there anything we didn't ask you about? Because we've been working you over pretty hard. Is there anything you want to talk about that we didn't talk about? We've been raking you over this beautiful fire.
That's fine.
What, anything you want to cover? Like, we didn't talk about any of these damn challenges today, really. I
Anything
mean,
we missed?
yeah.
I stepped up on Immunity Challenge doing puzzles with Donna, and we won, and that felt really good.
Cool.
I have been like trying to stay out of the way most of the time, and so I knew I needed to start like stepping in and not letting myself be set out. So I was doing that more today.
Okay.
Otherwise the day has been mostly just kind of trying to make nice conversation with people all day and hope that works.
Aren't you tired of hope? And just
Yeah.
wondering what's going to happen to you? Isn't that a horrible feeling? And you've got like, I don't know
It's
what's
rough.
about to happen today.
It's rough, and I've been there for a few days.
Laura, what was the best part of your day and the worst part of your day?
The best part of my day was probably when we won that challenge that got us into the merge, because I knew I'd screwed up by as we read the votes and I realized I was with Amanda and Jeremiah again, I realized I had screwed up because they're never going to trust me the same again. So I knew that I would be the one out if we went to trial. So
Trial or trial?
same thing.
Objection, Your Honor.
And so, yeah, just winning that final thing. I mean, I made sure Amanda was doing most of the work because she's good. She's good at those physical challenges, and then I just tried to do my best, and we made it. So, yeah, so that was probably the best. The worst was I'd planned everything up until it would be me, Keith, and Amanda and Jeremiah. And I just assumed that the merge would happen at that time. I just had miscalculated and not thought that through. So that was probably the worst part of my day because I really had no idea what to do, and I was, I just had like brain fog. I had like all these emotions. I just could not think straight. And so, and you guys saw that. I mean, I was just like, what do I do? So that was probably the worst. So.
We've entered the merge.
Yeah.
And Chola is consisted of 4, 4, and 3. What's happening tomorrow? How are the different groups? Are the tribes coming together as former tribes, or different groupings from different? Like, what's happening?
Tribes are definitely like still, they're still being loyal to each other. Green, they're definitely, doing their own thing. I think from last night, I learned that Jason and Matt were close, and that's why I decided that Matt had to go. And so we had talked about how we're gonna work together, but I mean, Jason like gave me this look and I gave him this look, and I think it's just understood we're not gonna work together at all.
What kind of look did he give you?
What?
What was the look? Just describe it for the camera.
Okay. Well, he's talking to everybody but me.
Okay.
And that's fine. I don't want to talk to him. So, yeah. I mean, I think we just don't click, and I think we both know we don't trust each other. So, so I'm doing everything I can right now and since I'm on the bottom of my alliance with Jeremiah and Amanda, it was actually sweet. I really connected with Ryan and Spencer. So I'm working that like crazy. But the only problem is everybody saw that I was connecting with them, and a bunch of people commented. So I don't know what.
How are you with the other members of OPA then? If you're with Ryan and Spencer, do you connect well with the other former members of OPA? Or I'm just trying to think of your dynamics if you go on the bottom with Amanda and Jeremiah.
Oh, with them?
Yeah. So how do you mix it up?
Well, I mean, I really want to go far with them. I just don't think. I mean, if I were in their shoes, I wouldn't pick me to go to the final 3. Jeremiah has been saying a lot, like, you orchestrated all of that. Wow, it must have been so stressful. So just hearing that over and over, and then Amanda has been saying, oh yeah, it's 60% social, and I don't know. I think she got a statistic from me, but thanks. But anyway, just she was saying, oh wow, you're really good at this, and she noticed that like I was able to talk to Spencer and Ryan. She's like, I think they really liked you, and she's like, and Ryan said, like he's felt like he's always known you and stuff like that. So I feel like they're starting to notice stuff, and I mean, I was totally dishonest today, so I don't know. I just don't see how they could trust me to go to the final 3, so I just feel like I need to have a plan with that.
So, and who would be, for your ideal final 3 or final 2, who would you want to be sitting next to, and who do you think you can beat?
Well, yeah, that's a question. I think I think Spencer and I, we really click. So I think I would definitely, if I could get him on board. I mean, he sounded like it seemed very mutual and very genuine. So I think that would be probably the fastest ticket there. But I don't know if I could beat him because I mean he's Spencer. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. With Ryan, he's got a lot of close ties. It sounds like. So I don't think I'd be his first pick. So I'd have to do a lot of work to get there. It would be harder. So I am tired of talking to people. I'm an introvert, so this is like, I mean, not you guys, but like just trying to play the social game over and over and over again. It is grueling.
Mr. Baker.
So we're hearing a lot about endgame scenarios.
Yeah.
What's the beginning of the merge game?
So we're going to get, the green off as quickly as possible. I mean, red and blue, yeah, purple, some color. We're working, we're working together, and I do trust them. We've had good conversations, and I think, the way that Jason and Kelly are kind of managing the camp, they're not exactly likable right now. So,
What are they doing that's unlikable?
Are they managing this camp right now?
Yeah, they're yeah.
How?
How are 2 people telling 9 other people what the
They're not
fuck's going
telling.
on?
It's just
Okay.
it's kind of like if I'm talking to a blue, they send somebody over to like hang out, and dominate the conversation, just stuff like that, and managing the fire where people are sleeping. It's just clear that they're kind of in charge. But yeah, I'm oops, I can't talk.
So, given what happened today with the Jason getting an idol, and given our conversation last night that Jason has the idol that you
Yeah.
had at that camp, it's easy to say, well, we're just gonna wipe green off the board.
Yeah,
How are you gonna do it?
I know that's a good question. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that in the challenge tomorrow, that somebody will stand out and look like they're a bigger threat than me, and I'm going to try to really highlight that. And even tonight, I might even say that about Amanda, wow, she's so good at challenges, I don't know, it is tough. Honestly, I don't know how we're going to do it. I have a feeling that I'm going to be the first one voted off, just the way that Jason and I are interacting. So
you're believing that you guys are gonna vote, and he's gonna play an idol, and the pigback vote is gonna hit you.
yeah, because it's just he's got multiple idols, and we can't split our votes because of the numbers. So yeah, it's gonna be whatever they decide. I mean, I think we're probably gonna vote for either Jason or Kelly, and just hope for the best. If purple falls through.
Do you think any of the other Sawa members would, with enough convincing, join that group to make the numbers in your advantage?
No,
Kurt or Maria
I
or
really
someone
tried
else?
tonight. So, Jason and Kelly keep going off on these walks together. So it's like my only time to talk to the other Maria and Kurt, right? And Kurt is playing dumb. He has no desire to talk strategy. And Maria, she won't even go there. So I was like, hey, it seems like they're kind of tight. And she was like, oh, they're so nice. She was like, so she just made it clear. And when they sit, they're all sitting together. No talking to other members, except they're trying to, get the purple tribe to really work with them. So they're talking to them. So yeah, but they're not talking to any of the red tribe.